Welcome back, guys, to the Sooner Saloon. I'm here with Emerson Campbell. Just to remind everybody before we get started here, if you're a diehard Sooner fan like us, like, comment, and subscribe to our channel. So we're going to be talking about the Oklahoma spring game from Saturday. Emerson, there's a lot to go over. First things first, kind of what stick out to me, the defense looks vastly improved from a season ago. It looks like they're swarming to the football. They're fast. They're much more physical, staying in the rush lanes, containing, in, not even just the D-line, linebackers, DBs. Everybody looks like they're doing their job and very efficiently. What are you thinking about what you saw yesterday?
I agree with a lot of what you said. I thought the defensive line played pretty well, all things considered. A lot of batted passes, which is something that you like to see. They were in the backfield a lot, making the quarterbacks uncomfortable. You could tell with Dillon Gabriel and with Jackson Arnold, that they, that pocket was collapsing a lot of the time. So that's good to see. Yeah, linebackers I thought pretty good in coverage. Safety, defensive backs had some nice pass breakups. I don't know who got the interception off Dillon Gabriel on the second possession for them.
That was his former teammate there, Peyton Bowen, bodying up Andrell Anthony on a 50-50 ball, and
that's right, it was Peyton Bowen. Yeah, see, that's nice that we get a little taste of the 5 stars that are coming, that just got here. That's exciting. So.
Right,
Yeah.
and that was kind of the thing. I think every 5-star played well. Jackson Arnold.
Yeah.
It took him a while to get started. His first throw was batted down by Justin Harrington, and good play by Justin Harrington. And like you said, the pocket was collapsing like no other. And another guy to help out with that was PJ Adebawore. There was one play I saw him chase down Caleb Hicks. He was trying to break free on the sideline, trying to turn the corner, and instead Adebawore shows his speed, pursuit, and shows why he's a 5-star recruit.
Yeah.
Goes, chases him down, makes a big play, and I think it was a tackle for loss. Very impressive. Very impressive. And on the D-line, every single player was contributing. Every single player. And multiple guys were getting to the quarterback, whether it was Bothroyd, Isaiah Coe, Marcus Stripling, R. Mason Thomas. That's a loaded group we have on that D front. And
that's true. Yeah. But it's interesting because last year we were talking about it was Reggie Grimes and Ethan Downs,
Yeah.
And those are two of them that were kind of quieter today. And like the names you said, Bothroyd, Stripling, glad to see, that's veteran leadership on the team right there. If he can turn it on for 1 year, this would be the year to do it, Yeah, so Isaiah Coe, yeah, I think it's the defensive line is looking better than expected based off if you're actually going to take this spring performance into consideration. And obviously can't hit the quarterback, it's basically tag with them. As soon as they get touched, they're down for good reason. And that kind of changes things in the trenches. But another guy that stood out on defense was Dasan McCullough, got the transfer out of Indiana. I thought he played really well. Had a lot of big plays. What did you think?
Yeah, he made so many great plays, and I think he's 6'5", about 230, 235 range, and he's a true sophomore. He had a great season his freshman year in Indiana, like you said, and he looks really fast. He looks physical. It didn't matter if it's one-on-one in open space. He's making the tackle, and in pass coverage, he looks great. He knows where to sit in the zone and make the pass breakup. Like you said, we saw multiple plays of D-backs, linebackers, safeties, everybody doing their job, breaking up passes. Personally, I think right now, Dasan McCullough should be the starting cheetah. He just looked like he was making more plays than Justin Harrington. But another guy that I thought stood out that transferred in, another guy, Reggie Pearson from Texas Tech. On one possession, he had, I think it was 2 open field tackles where he just cut down Tommy Walker in open space one-on-one, and then he had a touchdown saving pass breakup that was intended for Stogner in the end zone. So there's so much depth, not only at the D line spot, but secondary as well. We've already talked about Peyton Bowen. We have Woody Washington, who I think's a lock at that corner spot. But Reggie Pearson stood out. We have Key Lawrence back there as well. And Emerson, there's 2 guys that we were talking about all season last year. 2 of our best players on this team. That's Danny Stutzman. That's Billy Bowman. I didn't hear much from them at all because this defense just played great and lights out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's amazing what one really good recruiting class of defensive athletes can do, including transfers. And then obviously Brett Venables had a couple months to work the first when he initially got here to recruit some guys and get some guys he wanted. Like R. Mason Thomas is looking like he's going to be someone that could be a player, But when there's actually emphasis on the defensive side of the ball in recruiting, it doesn't take long to start to get that depth developed. As long as, especially if people can stay healthy, which it seems like on the defensive side at least, the team is pretty healthy rather. Obviously, you had a true freshman starting on the offensive side at left tackle in Caden Green. So that was kind of interesting. But yeah, overall on the defensive side, it's amazing when recruiting and health come together. It's the depth is looking good.
Yeah, and it definitely shows, and it shows that these guys have had a year to get adjusted in the Brent Venables scheme. And these freshmen, obviously, they're football smart and they're making plays as well. And what great message it sends to recruits that are on the sideline. What I heard was there was 9 top 100 guys on the sideline watching from yesterday's performance. And if you're a defensive recruit, that doesn't lie on that performance standpoint, on what Brent Venables brings to the table. Not just his resume. So let's switch over to the offensive side a little bit, because it's a little bit concerning, I guess you could say. You already mentioned Dillon Gabriel had a pick. He also had I think it was 2 touchdown passes, might have been 3. There was a touchdown pass to Farouk that I know was from DG. There was a pass from DG to Sawchuk, I believe, but I don't know if the touchdown to Blake Smith tied in with a nub. I don't know if that was from DG or not, but
I think it was. I think he did have 3. I could be wrong, but I think it was 3. Yeah.
But another note for me, Dillon Gabriel looks much more mobile than what he was last season. He looks like he gained a little bit of speed, and that's always like he looked really good moving around in that pocket, especially with how fast it was collapsing.
That's interesting that you say that. I agree. Yeah. Because at times last year, you could kind of see, okay, he's got some mobility. He's got some wheels. But other times he would just stay in the pocket and get trapped and end up getting sacked. So, yeah, I thought his mobility was a lot better today. But I agree. Like I mentioned, starting left tackle was a true freshman, Caden Green. So you didn't get to see the entire, first unit offensive line. But even still, I thought, they could have, if the defensive line has a good day, the offensive line is probably not going to have a good day. That's kind of how that works. But, I thought they could have played better, maybe. And, this is it's a big year for Andrew Rame,
Mm-hmm.
Savion Byrd is a guy that's been probably one of the most talented guys on the roster for a couple of years.
Definitely.
It's time for him to show it, Because Bill Bedenbaugh, he's been there. He's consistent, So these guys have been getting coached the way they've been getting coached. They know, at least what Bill Bedenbaugh wants. So another big year for him. But and then the wide receivers, it seems like, Drake Stoops is going to be kind of Mr. Reliable if you feed him the ball. Farouk is probably wide receiver number 1. The transfer out of Michigan is the burner deep guy, and we'll see if Dylan Gabriel can put it together and like distribute the ball to the necessary persons at the time that needs to happen. And then obviously Austin Stogner, he had a couple nice catches out there. He looked pretty good today. So glad to see him
it was
back
definitely
in
nice to
uniform.
see him. Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely so. But speaking about receivers, there's not a lot of run after catch in this receiving core right now. We mentioned Stoops. He's Mr. Reliable. He's got sure hands. He's going to be that slot receiver, sending a motion. Eyes on Stoops all the time. That's just how it is. Farouk, yeah, he's going to have a big season. Andrell Anthony, he's a deep threat guy, like you mentioned. Jaden Gibson, okay, there was two big time drops that I saw from him. One at the very end for the 2-point conversion to win the game. Goes right through the hands, and another one on a third down. Dylan Gabriel can put it on him a little bit better, a little bit behind him, but he should still snag it, get a first down. That's the kind of the difference, though, in what we need. It's either a touchdown, conversion. We need to make that a touchdown, but you also have to catch it.
That's interesting that you bring that up because I remember that play specifically, and I remember saying, okay, Jaden Gibson, he got his hands on it, he should have caught it. Mm-hmm. But also Dylan Gabriel, if he leads that ball on him another yard and a half, he's gone for a touchdown.
Absolutely.
So that's like the difference between a good offense or a decent offense and a great offense. Is one, the wide receiver catches the ball, and two, the quarterback puts it in the bucket. Right. That's what made Sam Bradford so amazing. That's what made Baker Mayfield so amazing. That's what made Kyler Murray so amazing. I mean, they could put it on you,
Mm-hmm.
So
from almost any angle under loads of pressure. And to clarify, that was Dylan Gabriel's third read. You had a flat route, and then you had kind of an out route that had the first down. Both of those were locked up, covered. And then you see Jaden Gibson kind of on a kind of an in route / slant route coming across the field. Third read, he's under pressure. Guys coming right at him. Sure, he gets it on him, put it out in front of him a little bit more. But like we said, he's under pressure. And luckily, it's a spring game. It's a spring game. We have more time to develop and get right. So, anything else that stood out to you? I mean, for me, it was kind of running backs didn't get going a lot. I think the biggest run was Dylan Smothers, freshman out of North Carolina. He had probably the most impressive run.
Yeah. Well, you got to remember, Javonte, the two RB1 and 2, you would assume, Major and Barnes,
mm-hmm.
they're injured right now, So, and that's been Marcus Major's problem his whole time at Oklahoma is availability. The best ability is availability. So,
yeah,
I'm not saying it's his fault, but you got to stay healthy to get playing time. And what Javonte Barnes had that surgery, I think he had like a foot surgery or whatever, so minor or whatever. So they should be back soon, but yeah, I thought Sacha. I thought based on the Florida State game and what we kind of saw from him at the end of the year that he would have a bigger role today, and he was pretty quiet, like you said. Tawi Walker, pretty quiet. What was the freshman's name? Hicks?
Yep, Caleb Hicks, and then
I thought he had some good. I thought he had some. Yeah, Smothers, like you said, had a good play, and I thought Hicks. I thought he has like the traits to become a good running back, and he's got the physicality. I saw him seeking some contact, on some of those runs. So
yeah,
that's something nice to see. He's a freshman, He's got to get some weight on him. So. But yeah, overall, I think the offense was just kind of lackluster today. So
Yep. And I'll say this. I mean, going back to last season, I'd much rather see the defense improve in a big way and show out in a spring game rather than the offense just throw it down the field and go for 50 yards and, just have a big day rather than the defense. You know, I'm glad the defense showed up and showed out the way that they did because it was very impressive, and I couldn't be more impressed than what they displayed yesterday.
Yeah. Well, that's the biggest leap. Usually, they say happens between year 1 and year 2. You've had a whole year in the system, in the defensive system with Brent Venables. So same thing with the offense, and Jeff Levy's going to scheme stuff up for them. They actually, believe it or not, they had a good offense last year. They put up points.
Yes.
The defense was the part that was lacking, like it has been for years. But I agree, it's promising to see with the spring game the defense taking a major step, showing a lot of physicality, a lot of good coverage. Just poor secondary play has been it's been a sore subject at Oklahoma. So for a while now.
Definitely so.
Yeah, like you said, it's good to see the depth. It's good to see the defense take a step. See the defensive line take a step. So, and that'll help the linebackers be able to flow. So, yeah, overall, I agree. Yeah, I'm happy that the defense played well. So, that's all I got.
So, I kind of hit on all my notes here. Unless you want to finish up with anything else that you got to say, Emerson.
No, I don't got nothing. I
Okay.
thought I thought the scoring was interesting, and it ended up being exciting at the end, which is kind of cool. So
Yeah, definitely.
everyone was talking crap on the scoring at before the game, but in the end, it was it made it pretty entertaining. So whatever.
And even after in the comment section, it's like, well, what the heck? How was it 84 to 82? But people just didn't tune in. They don't know. Anyways. Don't forget, guys, like, comment, subscribe. Thanks for watching. So with that being said, Boomer.
Sooner.